Hello, and welcome to another view of the New World. In a slightly different perspective, it's strange. I keep hearing these so called Democrats going on and on and on. They're losing in every choice they choose. My goodness, they never learn. And I just want to tell you that I don't believe everything I hear. And I'm pretty sure you don't either. But let's cover a few bases just to make sure, okay? All right, first thing, cutting taxes for Americans, cutting out waste, getting rid of all of the pork that's been doled out over the years. Now, someone please tell me what makes this a bad thing? Huh? What makes it a bad thing? And another question I'd like to have answered. Since when would any politician, either party, doesn't matter, would either party want to keep the gravy train going? Why? Well, the answer seems quite straightforward, doesn't it? It all has to do with greed. By the way, if you're just seeing the top of my head, you're right on the money because I am not showing my face right now for reasons that will become obvious later. So, why should this continue? Why? And why should it be allowed? It's another good question. I want to know why. Don't you? Wouldn't you like to know? Come on, world. Talk to me here. Work with me. Things are not easy. I'm just grateful that we have a new president who has his priorities in order. And one of his priorities is not taking money from the American people, but rather seeing that that which has been stolen has been returned. Now there you go. Now there's a goal we're fighting for, don't you think? Forget about glory and wealth and all of that jazz. Yeah, the president's got that too, but you know what? He earned it. It wasn't handed to him, and there were certainly no pork barrels that it came out of either. It just came by his hard work and determination. And you want to hear another one? I believe that. I believe that. And I'll tell you why. I've seen a lot of politicians come and go. And there were so many that were such good fakers. Take the late, great James Earl Carter, a one term president, wasn't much of a president, seemed like a down home kind of a fellow, down to earth, seemed like you could trust him, you know? But looking back, I have to really question some of the things that he's done and some of the policies that were enacted. And I'm not just picking on Carter. Mm-mm. Not at all. You could probably pick any president. But a little background music there for you. Anyway, point is this. What happened to the Democrats 60 or 70 or 80 or more years ago? Seems to me, although they've been replaced by greedy, feckless, unsympathetic scoundrels. Doesn't matter if you like what I say or not, free speech. Free speech has its place. And I'll tell you another one. I don't like the way they go around pretending to be something that they are definitely not, and that is decent human beings. Oh, the way they talk. Oh, you listen to Chucky Schumer and you think, oh, what a great guy. What a great guy, right? What a wonderful human being. Boy, he's really got his head on straight, doesn't he? No, actually, he's probably one of the worst of them. You make 100 and some grand a year, and by the time it's all said and done, you're a multimillionaire. Gee, how does that happen? I wonder. Do you wonder about that? I bet you do. It just doesn't add up. Nancy Pelosi, I could go down the list. And what I can't figure out is why people vote for Democrats now when you look at what's going on. And if you're honest with yourself, you're going to say, hey, man, this president is working his guts out for the American people. And isn't that what he's supposed to do? Isn't that what we're paying him to do as the top executive of the United States of America? Yes, it is. Yes, indeed, it is. Now, I wasn't going to say this, but this young fellow they got, the Democrats, I can't think, Hakeem, he looks kind of like a younger Obama. Certainly sounds like Obama. And I have nothing against Obama. I mean, he did do some good stuff. I could have done without that business of lighting up the White House in rainbow colors, but aside from that, I I give the man credit. And I tell you something else. I actually secretly appreciate the way he in the past, especially like during the elections and when he was president, I like the way he reacted to people and things. You know, he had to seem to have it pretty well in hand, but then again, he also had something that I'm afraid a lot of Democrats today are lacking. You know what that is? Well, there's two actually: common sense and character. Because even though I wasn't the President Obama's favorite, he wasn't my favorite, I still give him credit because he deserves it. And that's the only reason. And, I'm not going to go into too much more on that, but take my word for it. These fellows today, Hakeem Jeffries, Hakeem, man, you got to get out from in front of the camera, man. You're making a fool out of yourself, and all the world's seeing it. Come on. I can't believe you've been brainwashed into this democratic hoo-ha. I really can't. And I'll tell you another one that really irritates me. AOC. Now, I'm not going to be nasty or anything. I'm not nasty. I'm not that way. But that woman just irks me because she takes what seems like simple truth and twists it into a complex balloon animal of logic. In other words, instead of being just stretched out like it was when he first found it, she ties it all in knots and then called that simple logic. Honey, take my advice. Go back to working in the bars. At least there you can be appreciated and complimented, and no one has to worry about you ruining their lives. Take my advice. Go back to doing what you're really best at and leave the rest of the American people alone. We'll take care of ourselves without you. Thank you very much. And don't get me started on this whole Tesla business. What on earth possess these people? They're burning, they're destroying, they're shooting at people, they're shooting at dealerships. All of this, all in the name of what? What? What are they doing in the name of? Well, tell you what I think. I think you're doing it for the money. Yeah, I think some Democrats out there are throwing some money around to try to make Elon's life miserable. I don't think they're succeeding, but a guy like Elon, he's always got a way around. He always has an alternative, and he is smart enough to figure out what's what and how to do what needs to be done. So, enough of that. These folks, I just don't think they have their heads in the right spot, and that's all I'm going to say. Thank you for your time. Have a nice night.